Hello everyone, here's Gerali, your favorite Polish medled. So, this episode what we doing? We doing weapon. We don't doing very complicated weapon, we will do some simple weapons. So, in order to make simple weapons, let's start by adding our keys to the player command. So, let's add 4 of them. So, first key will be fire, of course, better like that. Scope, next, and last reload. Of course, here we add the seed. Seed will help us to handle the random between, of course, our player and the server. So here, let's put the compression and let's fix it to 10 bytes, like this. Of course, this seed and everything. So let's head here and compile it. So this is everything that we have to do on the player command thingy. Now let's go to our hello. Yeah. So now let's prepare the terrain for our weapon. Let's first here add sphere collider here, and let's say it's the head collider, like this. Head collider can just be getted like this because we don't have many other colliders on our player. Of course, we have only the collider which is named which is capsule collider, and of course this collider. Let's go to our prefab and add this collider now. Sorry for that. Don't be spoiled. Come on. Let's do this like that, and let's put the collider in the top so we can have it nicely. Let's pull capsule collider in somehow like this, and add the sphere collider at the 0.05 y position. That way these two colliders are intersecting somewhat here, and this is the head part, this is the body part. For now it will be good. You can make it more dense and everything if you want, but it's your choice. I don't show it in this episode. So let's continue. So in the motor, let's head simply to the motor and add 2 new functions. So first function will be the headshot. That way we know if we are hitting the head part. And the second function will be simply the life function that will help us to set the life. So in order to have the state here, we just need to do something like this. Player state. So we have access to life points in this state, like that. And yeah, now we have everything that we need in the player motor. Now go to the player controller. In the player controller we need to have new booleans. This will be simply the aim, the scope, the fire, the reload, and of course the seed as I said before, as simply the thing that help us to manage the game. So let's see. Here what we gonna do. We're gonna do first this. So Let's assign in the pool keys the fire to mouse 1. The seed will be changed only if we have a fire enabled. Of course, aiming on mouse 2 and reload on R. And now we can go to, of course, simulate controller, and here we can just add this to our aiming. So, of course, set it like this. So fire to fire, scope to aiming, reload to reload, seeds to seed. And that's it. So now we have pushed the key to the server, and now what we want to do is the same like we did in the before in the previous videos with the player motor. We want a script that will handle everything we do with weapons. So to make it, we need a player weapons script. So here, player weapons. This script will handle every interaction with the weapons. So let's open it. Yeah, Unity. I know you can, bro. So now, what we need inside? We need two functions. One function is for the init. That way we can initialize our weapon. And the other one will be the execute command. For now, it's good. We don't need any more of them. In terms of variables, we will need those. So let's set it to the game object. So now we will need here we will need just the camera to know from where we are shooting, and of course the weapons. Here I just put a game object because in this episode we will do only one weapon, but this weapon will be very modular. So don't be scared. It is very simple to handle. Here what we're gonna need is two things. So first thing will be to have a weapon script that will help us to shoot, because every weapon will not be the same, and etc. and etc. So one weapon, one script. Why I said modular weapon? Because modular weapon will be simply handled by one script that we can put in the future as a parent of another script. I will explain it later in another episode, but for now we just need one weapon, and this weapon will be a script. So let's create the script. We'll create at first the weapon script, of course, and we need this weapon to have stats. So let's create another script that will be the weapon stats, like that. And of course a folder in which we will just put these scripts, otherwise it is not professional. Oh yes, I love when it's doing things like that. Weapon and open weapon and weapon stats. What we putting in weapon stats? Very simple question, very easy to understand what we are putting in this. In weapon stats, we gonna just put stats, but to simplify things, we gonna put stats and it will be a scriptable object. If you don't know what is a scriptable object, it's simply an asset that we can create from the Unity menu that I will show very soon. So here every stat, weapon name, real time, magazine total, ammo per shot, and everything like this. So I can remove those because we will do this in the next episode. And now what we want is simply to create a new folder in which we're gonna just create a thing like that. And here, what did I just miss? Yeah, maybe miss something here. So let's create a folder like this, and here I put everything like yeah. Okay, so here here what we want here before everything is commencing, what we want two things. One thing is simply a function, two functions indeed in our weapon that will help us to handle this. So simple function first will be a virtual function that will be simply the initialize, and another function that will be the execute command that we have put before in a weapon player. And yeah, like that. So why here we need the player weapon? Because it's simpler to get to the player in the future. You will know it maybe in a 10 episode or more. Why we put a weapon here. So because it's we have very simple cases now, but in the future we will have very complicated cases that will demand us more things. So it's simpler to reference the weapon like that. Yeah. So now we have everything done. We can head to our project, and now when we are creating an weapon, because it's a scriptable object, now we can create this weapon here, and let's name it AK-47, and AK-47 here too, 47, like that. So it's not the stats of actual AK-47, but you know. Let's put 600 here. That will be better for next things. So what we want to do now? What we want to do is simple. We want now to make a weapon. So how we will make a weapon? This is not a very complicated question. Indeed, we have already everything we want. So we want the camera that will shoot from the raycasts for the weapon. We want, of course, our stats, because otherwise we can't know what the weapon will have. We want some practical things like the current ammo, the current total ammo, and of course the is reloading variable, so we know if we are reloading on or not. Of course, we want to have our player weapon reference because we are setting it here, and of course our player motor because when we killing someone, we want this person to know that we killed them. And to finish, we want some other practical things like the fire frame that will help us to know when we can shoot next time, and of course the reload coroutine that will help us to know if we are reloading at the time. And we don't forget to have the damage counter. Damage counter will help us to simply count damage on the same target during one shot, only one shot. Maybe it is helpful when you are setting the life maybe of let's say with a shotgun. You have multiple shots, and you are not sure that every shot will land on the player, so you are counting the total damage on this player, like this. So everything's fine. So now what we want? We want simply to have some getters like this in order to get later simply the variables. And here we want a fire interval that will help us to know how many frames there is between one bullet shot. So yeah, very simple for now. This is calculated, of course, by the RPM, so rate per minute, divided by 60, that make this to be FPS, rate per second. And of course, if you divide the frame per second by the rate per second, you are left with the frames to the next shot. So the total frame that you need to go to the next shot. So let's add some initialize things, like here, very simple, I don't need to explain them. Here what we want, in addition, we want two things. We want a function that will help us to start the reload, and simply the reload coroutine that will just do things when it has waited for the reload time amount, of course. So now we can start to do the execute command. So in the execute command, very simple, we just want to know if we are reloading. Currently, if we are reloading, we don't want to do anything. If the condition to reload are set, now we can reload if the reload button is pressed, of course. And otherwise, if you are not, if the condition of reloading are not here, and the fire button is pressed, we gonna fire on someone. So, or in nothing. Maybe you like to shoot in the air, or the air is your enemy. So we don't care about that. Indeed, we care about this tutorial. So in this tutorial, we're gonna pass some more code. And the code will be about the fire function. Yeah, the fire function, very simple. So here, what is the fire function? This function have the seed to be here, to be added here, and the function will do simple things like this. So, what this function do? This function check if we are able to shoot at first with the ammo. Next, it see if it can shoot, knowing if we are on the if we are superior to the frame of the next shot. So the next shot is calculated by fire frame, so the last fire frame, plus the interval that we have calculated before with our variables. Of course, we here are just subtracting our ammo in the weapon based on the weapon stats, and we are setting the seed with this current seed sent by the player. By the way, this is not the correct version of doing the seed. Normally, it's not like that you have to do this. But the tutorial will be too long if I don't simplify this like that. Later in some other episode, I will show how to make it correctly, and we will upgrade the entire weapon system with recoil and better seed and everything, you know. So here what we want is simple. We want just to reset our damage counter, and for each multi-shot, so for every shot that we will do with our weapon, for AK-47 it will be only one shot, so we will do this code once. So here we gonna check with inside unity cycle multiplied by the precision. This will help us to know. Yeah, of course, I remember now how is it done. Okay, so times 10, yeah. it will be better like this. So here, what we're gonna do. Here is a simple thing. What we doing? We are at first calculating a random point on a circle. So simple calculation. Random vector clumped between 0 and -1 and 1. Simple as that. So now what we want to do is to know if what the direction of our raycast. So the raycast of our weapon will come from the camera, so the camera position, and it will go in the direction of our camera forward times 10. That means that at the at 10 how do we do it? At 10 feet, no, at 10 meters, at 10 unity, unity units, at 10 units of unity, you will then add the camera dot up multiplied by the random circle dot y. And of course, the and the same for the camera dot right multiplied by the random dot x that we have pulled here with the inside unity circle. Then we raycast with, of course, the max range of our weapon and the ray that we have calculated, and we of course get the raycast hit with the raycast hit out of our physics.raycast. And here we're gonna get the player motor of the object that we have hitted. So of course, if the collider of if the object that we have hit with raycast is not a player, we're doing nothing, because here we are verifying if we have hit a player. And we have hit it, if we have hit a player, we are first calculating the damage that we have declared here. And if this is a headshot, so the function that we have made before, we multiply our damage, we add 50% of the damage to the total damage. And of course, if we have our player already registered in the damage counter, we add simply the damage to the damage counter. Otherwise, we just add the target to the damage counter, and we set the damage at its dictionary position. And of course, at the end, we are just going through every damage counter dot keys. So every player that we have hitted, and we set their life with the damage counter with the actual damage that they have been inflicted. So here we just gonna be sure everything is well done. Yeah, so the weapon is correctly done, like that. And of course, now we can go to the player controller, and here we want to add a private player weapon reference, like that. Player weapons, of course. And here what we're gonna do is very simple. We're gonna just make sure that we are initializing our weapon, player weapon. So here, what we're gonna do next? We're gonna head to the Unity and everything. We're gonna go to our player. So the player have now to attach a script on it. So in this script, we're gonna reference at first the camera of from where he's shooting, and next we're gonna reference a weapon. But we need to create this weapon. So first we're gonna just create an AK-47 empty game object with nothing inside, like this, and we're gonna add here a weapon, like that, and here we're gonna just add the AK-47 stats in order to make sure that everything works. Here we can just add this as a prefab, of course, delete this, and now when we want to add this to the player, we just want to go to our weapons and add this like that. So the weapon is already setted, and in the next episode we will see how to manage the visual part of the play first the. Oh, sorry for the interruption. So I have just see that we have forgotten something in the player controller. So here we just need to assign this reference, of course, in the player awake. And in order to make it work, we just need to add the player weapon.execute command, like here. So it will do the thing in the simply in the simulate controller, and of course we need to do the same in the player the execute command of our thing. So like this. And now everything is done correctly, finally. So you can make it like this, so it appeals much sexier. And yeah, so now we can build our game. Of course, don't forget that this episode is only for creating weapons and how to do weapons with something like bolt commands. Indeed, it's not the perfect way because the seed is it can be hacked by players, and it can be set to one only one seed that will be constant. But it's a nice solution if you have a fast FPS or a game that is a co-op and the players will not cheat on each others. So yeah, like this, and you can spawn your players, of course. And now if you go on the game and you start to simply shoot on the other player, it will simply lose life. So if we shoot in his legs, he will lose lesser, and if we shoot in the head, he will lose more. So like I said, thank you for watching. Next episode it will be about the visual part of weapons, and the episode after that will be about dropping weapons and more stuff like that. So remember to subscribe, remember to leave a like, comment. We are responding to every comment in the shortest time. So thank you for watching, and bye.